How many of you have been judged on your appearance? How many of you have judged someone else on their appearance? I feel like in high school, that is the peak time for criticism and judgment based on your appearance. Uniforms being mandatory will lessen dress code violations, diminish misbehavior, and boost morale among students. I know about uniforms because I went to Continental Local School from kindergarten until the end of my sophomore year, and then I went on to go to a trade school called Vantage Career Center, and they required uniforms. So then I finished my school with uniforms for my junior and senior year. Now, when I found out I had to wear a uniform, I had every negative thought that a high school student would have. This is so controlling, this is dumb, I don't want to do that. Why can't I pick out what I want to wear? I had always been able to choose what I wanted to wear. If I wanted to wear sweatpants, if I wanted to look cute, if I wanted to impress somebody, I had that choice, and now it was being taken away from me. But I was so wrong in thinking that that was going to be horrible or difficult for me. These schools were so different from each other because the expectations were so high at Vantage Career Center. They had these rules for uniforms that were what I thought were ridiculous and too much, but they honestly made the students act a certain way. I was in cosmetology, which is basically a hairdresser, and I wasn't allowed to have my nails chipped, my nail polish chipped. I had to have my hair done, I had to have my makeup done, I had to have my whole uniform on, my scrub top and my scrub bottoms, and I had to have all black tennis shoes and my name tag every single day. Now I thought that was overboard, but it honestly made everyone act so much more professional, and it gave us an incentive that if we didn't do this, we knew what our consequences were going to be. Now, our consequences were our grades and jeans days. So if I would come in with chipped nail polish, I knew that I was going to get docked in my grades. They could take points off for every single thing that I had wrong with me. If I had chose to not do my hair that day, not do my makeup because I was tired, I knew I was getting points off for both of those things. A jeans day is every Friday we were allowed to wear our jeans from home, so whatever pair of jeans we picked, as long as they weren't too distressed and they didn't have any holes or anything. And we were usually allowed to wear a t-shirt or a scrub top, and we could wear whatever shoes we wanted. This, as a consequence and even a privilege for students, worked perfectly because jeans day were a chance to look normal and show off who you were and really impress somebody if you thought somebody was cute. And of course that's going to work for high schoolers. They want to impress the cute boy or girl that they just met. So people really wanted to have a jeans day. They didn't want to be left out and be in their uniform while everybody else looked normal and had jeans on. And I was shocked at how well this worked at curbing everybody's misbehavior. Another thing that curbed misbehavior is uniforms took away that fight in the morning. That fight with your mom, that fight with your dad, that fight about you rushing and you being late and you're gonna have to speed and you shouldn't do that because you're spending an hour picking out your outfit. I was that girl. I spent forever either picking out my outfit or got up late and had to throw sweats on and go. But I didn't have that fight anymore with my parents because I knew what I was wearing every single day and I knew everybody around me was gonna look the same way. Another thing that uniforms diminish is bullying. So kids didn't have to worry about if they had dirt on their clothes or their clothes weren't clean or if their clothes were too small because their family couldn't afford to get them new ones and they were hand-me-downs. Or the opposite also, that's what I had a problem with, was girls in my lab who I found out had less than me because they told me they had less than me, did not like me because they found out my parents were together and I had a car that they bought and a car that wasn't going to break down, a nicer car. they didn't like me because of that. But I realized later, after telling them all this stuff, I only had to give them the information that I wanted to because my uniform gave me the chance to be just like them. Now, I wasn't gonna lie to try to fit in, but I didn't have to tell them things that I knew was gonna make me stand out and be isolated from them. Those assumptions that high schoolers have of, she's got a perfect life, I don't like her, those didn't happen anymore because I did not have to relay any information I didn't want to. Uniforms also brought a professionalism to high schoolers that I've never seen before. You knew that you were wearing this uniform because it was a career you wanted to be in, and that career was probably going to expect you to wear that. And people became accustomed to knowing that this is what is expected and I'm going to do it. Another thing uniforms bring to schools is a morale boost or a unification of students. Everybody looks the same around you. You know that when you get to school, everybody's going to look just like you, and that brought a unity to everyone. Everyone felt the same. Everyone knew that they were uncomfortable in their uniform, but so was the person next to them. They felt like equals, and that made a safer space for kids at school who were afraid of other kids. It also opened up doors to create relationships with kids that you may not have based on their clothes or their appearance. So if I seen a welding kid and then a week later he comes into Cause to get his hair cut, I'd be like, hey, I seen you in the hallway, you're in welding, right? It opened a conversation that you may not have had before. So it brought new friends to you. It also brought a new beginning, like I talked about. It was your chance to tell people what you wanted to tell them and keep the rest to yourself, which was great for someone like me who came from a small school and everybody knew everything. So yes, uniforms do take some freedom away from you, but they also open many doors, especially for people who wanted to feel equal to the person next to them and feel like they fit in. I honestly think that uniforms are the key to a better school environment, and if they're enforced in all public schools, they will diminish bullying and lessen misbehavior and cause that morale boost and unification among students.